All right, man, we back. Goodfellas Sports TV. Sorry for the air conditioning in the back. I was not planning on going live today, but it's hot as hell outside, and I ain't walking them dogs, and I ain't doing shit today. So, I've been watching NBA. I watched the Mick Conlon fight. I mean, until more people roll in, we could talk about Mick Conlon from now here and there. I'll talk about this Frampton and Trey Nair fight. Right now, they fighting on ESPN. Later on tonight, we gotta support the females, y'all. Jessica McCaskill's taking on Cecilia Braekhus, was seeming to be a really, really good fight. I'm pulling for Jessica McCaskill's because Cecilia Braekhus is one of those acceptable duckers. She don't want to fight Clarissa Shields, and they make every excuse for her not to fight Clarissa. So I'm pulling for Jessica McCaskill just off the strength of that. Then later on tonight, we do have David Benavidez taking on Romir Alexis Anguilo. You know, he lost his title last night on the scale. And then later on tonight, Fight Island, Stipe Miocic taking on DC in the trilogy. So I'm looking forward for that rubber match. So it's going to be a lot of combat sports coming down a stretch for us tonight. Other than that, I have one more NBA video queued up. And if anything else come up, I'll speak on it. So should be a busy night. I plan on going live. I might do a combat sports stream where I have some people come on tomorrow and we talk about everything that happened today in the sport of boxing. So shout out to the Portland Trailblazers. That was a good ass game early on. If you missed it, it was good. I didn't understand the play-in scenario. I just thought the winner would get into the playoffs. But if Grizzlies had won tonight, then they would have had to beat Portland again last night. And you know what? They fought all season. If it wasn't for the stoppage, they would have made it, and Portland wouldn't have made it. And also, they had some injuries. You know, traded for Justice Winslow, he got injured. Jaren Jackson Jr., Tyus Jones. So, you know, at the end of the day, Portland was the better team. That's what we wanted to see face LA, and they kick off Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, all right, appreciate everybody for checking in. Make sure you share the videos. Right now, Carl Frampton is fighting some Traymore guy. They going into the second round, so that is on ESPN. If you need some other entertainment instead of listening to me, Frampton just landed some really he just landed some really good shots on Frampton bum ass. But yeah, we're gonna talk about Keith Thurman. He called out Bud. We talked about that yesterday with Brian Custer, and then Bo Mack said they weren't interested on the boxing voice. And then my boy was he in here? I'm gonna shout him out because he always talking that good shit. Uh, Pooh Dangles. He said that Keith Thurman said that he got a fight in December or January, and I put up that article. So it sounded like Keith Thurman could be pump faking a little bit. But I was told to me last night that Kell Brook is no longer an option for Terence Crawford. It looked like Kell Brook could be headed for Keith Thurman, actually. So, and also Charlo said yesterday on the WBC Instagram page, the one where they announced David Benavidez missed weight, that he coming up to 168 for the title. So, I mean, we got some good shit to talk about. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Don't forget, you can always follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All those links in the description. Also got a Facebook group, so if you ain't joined that, that's in there as well. Want to make a donation? Best way to do that right now is to share the video and hit the thumbs up button. So if everybody ain't hit the thumbs up button, do so. Cash App, PayPal in the description. Cash App CJ Good 313. That's in the description. PayPal link there as well too. But best way to donate, thumbs up right now. Share the video. So Budango say must have a fight sign talking about Keith Thurman, because Thurman said he got a date in January. I heard it's December, January, according to this article I'm about to read. Yeah, but they have no to Brook also. So if no Brook and no Thurman, I don't know. It looks like they getting the Pacquiao or Spence sign or Danny Garcia. So we just get into that. Thurman knows that fight with Bud is going to require fans due to his asking price. I mean, could be. What's going on, Ronaldo? Jimmy Butler gonna be on y'all ass. When y'all play Tuesday or Monday? Lather salute. Arrow B, what it do? Guns and Entertainment 82. What's wrong with Bud, or is PBC pulling some? I don't think that's PBC. I think that's Keith Thurman. But yeah, what's going on? 72 Needy Bone. Yeah, I seen it last night. We talked about what Keith Thurman said, so it's no need to reiterate that. But Bo Mack was on the Boxing Voice, and he said that basically it ain't no point in fighting Keith Thurman at this point because he lost to Pacquiao, his arm hurt. They gonna say you beat down a broke down Keith Thurman, but what he gotta understand is when you not When you're not a top, when you're not a media darling and you're not a fan darling favorite or something like that, whatever you do gonna be ridiculed. All right, it's just the name of the game. It comes with the territory. That's not a black thing, a white thing. It's primarily a black and a Cuban Dominican thing, to be honest. But it's a lot of fighters that don't get the credit. Depending on how you look at the glass, half full or half empty. If you're a Tyson Fury fan, you're looking at it half full. If you're a Deontay Wilder or AJ fan, you're looking at it as half empty. So it's all about your prerogative on how you're looking at these things. So it depends. Floyd Mayweather is as good as it's gonna get for this generation, but he get ridiculed, for catch weight for Canelo, and he didn't fight dudes in his prime, but nobody talks about Manny Pacquiao, in the strange roster weight. Nobody talks about him, draining guys and fighting guys at catch weights, and not fighting Nate Campbell, not fighting that other dudes. I hear nobody talks about Pacquiao in a negative light for real. Not as far as the mass media or the major media. Nobody talks about Pacquiao. Canelo fans, they don't talk about how Canelo, won his first belt at the catch weight, open scoring held versus Austin Trout, and he barely got by. He robbed Lara in some people's opinion. I had it a draw, and nobody brings up that he lost every round to Mayweather. It's like it never happened, and only his big performances come from smaller guys or older guys like Kirkland and Gulo, or smaller guys like Matthew Haddon and Amir Khan and Josito Lopez. Older guys like Ryan Rhodes and older Cotto he couldn't stop. Nobody talks about that. It depends on what side of the fence you're sitting on. It's all subjective, but at the end of the day, they did the same thing. True, the underrated darkness salute. Check his channel out. It doesn't really matter. It depends. Muhammad Ali was ridiculed his whole career. And then when Muhammad Ali started shaking and shit, everybody loved the motherfucker. You feel me? Let's just keep it 100. When Muhammad Ali started shaking, Muhammad Ali was the most crowd friendly fighter. I'll be the first. And people act like Muhammad Ali was perfectly, unapologetically black. He called Joe Louis a fucking monkey. I mean, Joe Frazier a monkey. You know what I'm saying? No. Martin Luther King ain't calling no other brothers no monkey. Call him a gorilla. And then refused to apologize to him after the Thriller in Manila. So it just shows you that nobody's perfect. It seems that when you come to the black community, everybody can be not perfect, but if you somebody on the pedestal, you supposed to be perfect. You can't make no mistakes. And if you have any mistakes in your history, any inconsistencies, the black delegation, these fake black power motherfuckers gonna rip you apart. The white man ain't our number one enemy, bro. It's the black man. Our own kind. Men and women. So, like I said before, you can go on in history and you gotta educate your type of stuff. You know what they say about Jack Johnson? They say Jack Johnson was a fucking coon because all he fucked with was white women. And which was gangster because he was walking around, or what, the 1940s and 30s, whatever the hell it was, with a white woman on his arm, and wasn't nobody gonna do shit to Jack Johnson. So it all depends on where you sit at on your vantage point of view. It take a real motherfucker to get credit where credit is due, or discredit when it's discredit one of their favorite fighters or a fighter that they pump out. It's rare. It's like less than 1% of motherfuckers on YouTube and in the boxing media do it. No. I mean, if you feel you got an interview from Teofimo Lopez, you're gonna be pro Teofimo Lopez. Why you think Devin Haney, his dad out here, using Fred and using the H Money guy, and you know what I'm saying? He know what he doing. He using the YouTube motherfuckers and the media motherfuckers to push his son. It ain't no different from what a lot of dudes do. Kenny Porter was controlling the boxing boys doing the same thing. They say we don't matter, but they utilize us. But you know what's different between us and me? Them and me? Nigga, ain't gonna happen this way. You better be coming with the bag if you think you can control this one. Ain't no calling in, taking over the show. Ain't no DM me, asking me, no, fuck that. All that didn't happen. And my integrity, if you gonna take my integrity on this motherfucker and take over my platform, you better have a bag. Or this interview better be Al Heyman worthy. Shit, it better be worth the bag. You ain't gonna take over my platform for free. You feel me? Oh, I fly you out to my gym. Shit, you better fly me out and there better be some coochie there. Shit. As soon as I touch down, I better have like 5 Vegas hookers up in my shit or something like that. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I better have some shoes, some gators, an Armani suit or something, man. Ain't gonna just I don't give a fuck about interviewing these dudes. I'm dead ass serious on that. You know, but let's start off, man. So basically Bo Mack was like, nah, he don't bring nothing to the table. It's on the box voice. Long story short, they gonna discredit us. But whatever Terence Crawford do, they gonna discredit him right now. And then they gonna praise him down the stretch. Watch what I tell you. Watch Andre Ward. Oh man, Andre Ward was so fucking underrated, and I used to love Andre Ward. It'd be the same motherfuckers that was shitting on Andre Ward his whole career. Mr. Duke Fort, J Duke 40, salute. Same dudes that was hoeing Andre Ward his whole fucking career. That's how they gonna do Bud. And Bud beat Keith Thurman. What is it worth? He coming off a loss. Sean Porter coming off a loss. And if he did fight those dudes and he beat them, he was supposed to beat them. They coming off a loss. When he extended the olive tree branch to them to fight when they had titles, they didn't want to fight, but now they want to fight without titles. And people say, well, if he fight them, it solidify him as a welterweight. How does it solidify Keith Thurman coming off injuries, coming off a loss to Pacquiao? How does that solidify him as a champion? Or how does that solidify him? It's subjective. You motherfuckers, put Keith Thurman on the pedestal. You put Danny on the pedestal. You put Sean on the pedestal. Only one we don't have to put on the pedestal is Errol Spence. What's already explained ain't got to be understood. He the best welterweight right now. Based on his body of work at the division. He got 2 belts. He can rub them together and make a wish. Pacquiao, what's already established is he going to bring money to the table, and he amongst the one of the 2 or 3 best welterweights there because he beat the top dog, Keith Thurman. He may be considered the best welterweight, but in my opinion, it's Errol Spence right now. So Terence, Errol, and Manny, Errol before the accident, those are the 3 best welterweights in the world. Now, to keep it 100, if Errol Spence ain't on the menu, if Kell Brook is removed, we'll talk about that in a minute. So we talking about Terence Crawford, Pacquiao, Errol Spence. So Errol is off. So if Pacquiao ain't the next fight for him, I mean, you can't fight no Ray Robinson in this situation and not get flat. Because Kell Brook is reportedly off the table, and it sounds like he's going to fight, give me 1 minute. He's going to fight Keith Thurman. I heard that last night. I'm not going to say who told me and he said, because some shit remain, some sources you keep confidential. And I don't want, he didn't say I could or couldn't say it, but if somebody say, oh man, they don't say, oh man, you usually if they say, hey, don't say this, all right, you know not to say it. But usually they be like, you can say this, so I was just gonna keep it confidential, but it come from a good source. I'll put this biofreeze in my damn neck. Going to the chiropractor tomorrow, baby. Next week. Make my appointment. He back open, so give me a minute. But yeah, we leave off that. But yeah, if you're not fighting one of those guys or Patrick Teixeira, in my opinion, it makes no sense. It makes no sense not to fight Keith Thurman. All right. We could say Ray Robinson coming off a draw to Josh Kelly. That was like what? I don't remember last time he fucking fought. I thought Kavaliauskas beat him, but they fought to a majority draw. You know what I'm saying? I just not didn't say because of the fight he beat him. I assumed that Kavaliauskas won that fight with Ray Robinson from Philadelphia. So, in my opinion, if you're not fighting one of the 4 guys I named, and that's Earl, hold on, we can expand that. If you're not fighting Sean, Earl, Pacquiao, or Teixeira next, then at the end of the day, you turn around and fight Ray Robinson, nigga. Like, I can't defend that. Because only the names that he posed to fight is Teixeira, Kell Brook, and they said that's off the table. So you're looking at Teixeira, Ray Robinson name that been thrown out there, and Manny Pacquiao. Now I did hear that they gave Manny Pacquiao a nice ass offer. I heard Bob Arum offered him a nice bag. So if he do fight Pacquiao next, that's the only fight that makes sense. Unless he gonna go up and win a 4th title, then I take Teixeira over Keith Thurman. I take Teixeira over Sean Porter because you going up another weight class and you going to get another title. So that's 4 titles in 4 different weight classes on top of being undisputed with 4 belts, when 5 versus the lineal belt. So how many people did that? So if I had to put the list together for Crawford next opponents, which is acceptable by ranking, obviously it's no Errol Spence. He got to fight next in November. All right. So it's Pacquiao, it's Teixeira, and then everything else after that, Keith Thurman, Sean, and everything after that. So to be honest, it's a disappointment. But Keith Thurman know what he's doing. Keith Thurman is just doing what most motherfuckers should do: put public pressure on him. All Bud didn't even have to say nothing. All Bomac and them had to do was say, send the contract, hit the line. Keith Thurman get out there, ask for some money that he ain't worth, and say, well, Keith Thurman ain't serious. A lot of these motherfuckers don't know how to play, don't know how to do public relations. Before you get out there talking, you got to understand what position you in. Because if Bomac and them come back and fight Ray Robinson, and you talking about, Keith Thurman, this nigga got knocked out by Ugas. So now you look bad. Now you look inconsistent, and at some point, there's no inconsistencies in Crawford's track record. You can't name one motherfucker he ducked. Now, it ain't been a who's who list of fighters. If he didn't fight Gamboa at 35, people say he would have ducked him. Mike Alvarado and Barrios beat each other up at 40. Mickey Bay beat Miguel Vasquez up, and he cleaned out 35 for the most part. He cleaned out 40. Now, if he fight Ray Robinson and Keith Thurman really played the PR role on that, now it's gonna look like he ducked Keith Thurman. And at the end of the day, I think he's a dude that he can care less what the public think. I think if he secure in his mind and his heart, he knew Keith Thurman wasn't serious. I think Bud is okay with that. But publicly, he does get irked. We know that. But this is just perfect example that Bomac need to think before he act, before he talk. This like a motherfucker that say right now, it come out that Floyd Mayweather coming out of retirement to fight, let's just say, Kickstand Bob, right? And we know motherfuckers that's gonna rush to their phones and report it. Oh, Mayweather coming out of retirement to fight Kickstand Bob. And I've been guilty of this in YouTube early in my career. You rush out here, you do this video, and then after you drop the video, 5 minutes later, all the details come out. Well, Floyd is fighting Kickstand Bob in a 4-round exhibition at Zap Zone for the kids. Or Floyd not fighting Kickstand Bob, he gonna fight Bob Kick, his cousin, or his brother. See, at the end of the day, sometimes you gotta sit back and you gotta wait and see how shit materialize. Motherfuckers want to be first, and all they got this 2-minute video about nothing. They don't have no details or no nothing. Nobody just want to hear the news. Motherfuckers want to know the details, what you think about the details, and they want to see you adequately break it down. But if you only breaking down headlines, nigga, I can read a headline. So it ain't about being first. It's about being right. It's about being thorough. It's about putting together a great article, a great video, and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you got to be consistent. If you come out there with Ray Robinson next, bubble, no bubble, on the bubble, out the bubble, in his backyard, in Eddie Hearn's slave master headquarters, and and Keith Thurman get out here and start playing PR like, I tried to fight him. I told you he didn't want that smoke with one time. Now I got to fight Kell Brook. See, he didn't want to fight Kell Brook neither. Imagine that shit. He fighting Ray Robinson and Kell Brook. Yeah, mate. He didn't want to fight me. I told Bob that I would fight Bud, and they didn't want to pay me no money, and Al paid me money. Yeah, I told you that Terence Crawford didn't want to fight a real welterweight. I'm fighting Kell Brook. He supposed to be fighting Kell Brook, not me. Now tell him, Krill, yeah, mate, Bud Crawford doesn't want to fight anybody. I mean, Bob Arum doesn't want. Imagine that shit. That nigga gonna blow a head gasket. Even if they telling 100% lie, that's 2-on-1. 1A, Crawford ain't a fan favorite because he don't interview with certain people or do a lot of interviews. in all his interviews that he give at like fight week in this roundtable, all his interviews are given to like Radio Raheem and motherfuckers like that. Two, you got 2-on-1. You got guys that fought, fought Errol Spence, fought Manny Pacquiao, you know what I'm saying? And two guys that was supposed to be linked to your name fighting each other. And now you ain't fighting either one of them. You fight Ray Robinson, man. I can't even defend that. The last Christian alpha male, salute. He said boxing rankings are messed up. No way you should get a title shot after you lose. I definitely agree, my brother. Shout out to last Christian alpha male. No way you should get a title shot. No way you should be in the title eliminator after you lose. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Unless you was robbed or you had an injury. Like Korobov should easily get a regular WBA title shot back versus Chris Eubanks Jr. They should shoot that bitch back. I heard that was something that they was discussing. But it don't look good for Crawford at all. If you go out there and fight Ray Robinson, bro, that shit don't look good. You better off just not fighting. So they better be fighting Pacquiao to share next. Anything less than Pacquiao and share, because Earl Danny ain't available, Sean ain't available. He fighting Formella. Anything less than that is like, dude, like I can't defend you no more. This your one time when you kind of look bad. He said, I don't think it's Ray Robinson, but Ray Robinson's still woofing. And I heard he's an opponent that's on the floor. Oh, Frampton and dropped this dude. Hope that's Frampton on the canvas. If Frampton dropped, oh boy. Some Euro bum you fighting. But at the same time, the motherfuckers fighting in the bubble. Al the one with the bag. That's what it looked like. Bud should fight Keith Thurman. Should fight Keith Thurman. I think shout out to Ricky 245. In my opinion, he should. I mean, but let's talk about this though. This is something that Dangles brought up and shit. It's in Boxing News 24. Thurman to fight December or January. Brook a possibility. Keith one-time Thurman says he plans on fighting in December or November against Kell Brook, possibly against Kell Brook. Wants to get a fight in 20. He said he wants to. I think he meant he wants to get a fight in. They need to do an editor on Boxing News 24. He wants to get a fight in 2020 if possible, as he hasn't fought since this close 12-round split decision with Manny Pacquiao. Former welterweight Kell Brook is also being considered for an opponent for WBO champion Terence Crawford. I heard that's no longer on the table for Kell Brook. I mean for Crawford. So Kell Brook got to be fighting either Liam Smith or Keith Thurman. So basically, he looking at fighting Kell Brook. So he looking at fighting Kell Brook. So he in the article. I mean, I guess this must be Brian Custer must have released the interview. He in there criticizing Errol Spence. So I mean, let's just say Crawford did fight Keith Thurman, and Thurman came off a close loss, and he fight Terence Crawford. Crawford got to look perfect. You know what I'm saying? He got to look way better than Manny Pacquiao did. You know what I'm saying? But it seemed like Keith Thurman already has something lined up. So he fighting Kell. It sounds like he might be fighting Kell Brook. Now, Keith Thurman, is basically, coming out here making Bud look bad. But Sean Porter just told Ben Thompson that, he wanted to fight Keith Thurman in the rematch, and Keith Thurman said no. Excuse me. He said Keith Thurman said no. So, I mean, Keith Thurman could just be lying and playing. Do PBC got the budget for Keith Thurman to fight, Terence Crawford? To come to PBC? I mean, maybe they do, maybe they don't. We know the bag gonna hit different. But let's just talk about Keith and Kell for a minute. That's some shit that should have happened years ago. I think Keith Thurman was the IBF. Kell Brook was the IBF champion, and him and Keith could have fought each other after that. Well, not technically. Well, they could have. That was before they ordered Errol Spence. But hold on, I'm gonna get this comment in. Give me a minute. I'm gonna just say Kufa Jiu-Jitsu. He said, I don't see crowds coming back to the U.S. boxing anytime soon, so the UFC model might be advisable. Uh, televised major fights on pay-per-view with no crowd. Otherwise, championship might go inactive route. Yeah, but everybody got to eat, bro. He said, Dollar X say this guy don't want to fight a worthy opponent, bro. As crazy as I believe Keith Thurman wouldn't even fight, but they really fell for the bait. What the top PBC fighters been willing to come over? Come on, man, that's true. Bomac shouldn't have spoke. Yep, he shouldn't have spoke. George salute. George Green say, "What up?" He said Keith might feel like he all healed up. But if he felt that Carl Frampton won TKO 7 rounds, so I ain't man. He ain't been shit to me ever. But Keith Thurman didn't want to fight Sean Porter. Now Keith Thurman said I fight Terence Crawford, and then he said Crawford didn't want it. He turned around and fight Sean Porter. Then I'm like, yeah, but he turned down Sean Porter. But then Sean Porter, they said turned down Josita Lopez. I mean, so shit, it is what it is. Man, G said crazy boxers can only cross the street when it's convenient. Now they want to fight when the belt is gone. Belts is gone. I mean, yeah, had Keith Thurman beat Manny Pacquiao, would he even be saying Terence Crawford's name? No. He wouldn't be saying his name. Crawford can't really fight anyone and get credit at welterweight. If I was him, I would just move up, beat Earl, move up. If he beat Earl, accident. If he beat Manny O, if everyone else already took an L. Yeah, that's Katie Trey 5 from the UK. Yeah, I mean, shit, is he in a lose-lose situation? You know what I'm saying? That's just the fact of the matter of it is, but you got to be at peace. Andre Ward fought against the media for years, bro. Golovkin blatantly ducked him on camera and said, "Oh no, I'm too Andre Ward too much." Whatever he said at the HBO meeting, he blatantly junked Andre Ward, and somehow, Andre Ward get blamed because Golovkin didn't want to fight him. Andre Ward beat Carl Froch, and Carl Froch went on to get more credit in his career than Andre Ward. And he thoroughly beat Froch ass. So, you know what I'm saying? They praised Golovkin, right? They praised Golovkin up and down. Deontay Wilder was really what they wanted Golovkin to be. He knocked out everybody. No matter what you thought, he brought knockouts. They down Wilder and they prop up, Golovkin. So this ain't a fact. This ain't the facts of. This ain't the vantage. This ain't sanity. All this shit is insanity. This shit is the largest dick pulling contest of sports. That's all it is. What it is. It's the largest dick pulling contest of sports. It's who the writer favor. It's who the YouTuber favor. It's who the vlogger favor. And they just changed the narrative. But when it comes to Keith Thurman, he said, okay, I'll fight Errol Spence right now. Drop Danny Garcia. People say, oh, Keith Thurman just joking. He just pump faking. But now, and also I wanted to bring up this. I'm glad I kind of talked myself into this. Remember, now watch how the narrative changed, all right? Remember when Keith Thurman was fighting Manny Pacquiao? Let's just take a trip down memory lane. Ali salute. Let's take a trip down memory lane. Back down memory lane. I'll take you there. The Staples Center. Now, when Keith Thurman was fighting Manny Pacquiao, it was revealed that it wasn't no testing. Didn't nobody say nothing. Not a LDBC person said a thing except for Tom. With nobody on team Keith Thurman, bro. Keith Thurman say, well, ain't no testing for Manny Pacquiao. Nobody said nothing. Leading up to the fight, Keith Thurman was public enemy number one. A proud black man who accepts his blackness. Keith Thurman ain't never did no raccoon shit. Not to my knowledge. They took Keith Thurman, Bojack salute. They took Keith Thurman and threw him up under the fucking rug. They threw him up under the car and kicked the jack stands and let the car just crush him. Right? It was no crowd support for Keith. Keith Thurman didn't have a fan a fan going into this fight. Remember that. Keith Thurman didn't have a fan going to this fight, right? And we get to the fight, and everybody room for Pacquiao. It's the same Pacquiao that a lot of these dudes, his fan base, called these motherfuckers spear chuckers and all type of N words and all type of race bait for Manny Pacquiao fans. And you know, this people root for Pacquiao. Black people I'm talking about that accuse him of juicing. You know, accuse him of running from drug tests. Accuse him of not taking drug tests, and accuse him of ducking certain fighters and not wanting to fight Errol Spence and all the shit you hear about Pacquiao, right? But Pacquiao won a close fight, people rejoicing, right? I got the power. Dun, 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 dun. I got the power. You got all these dumb Negroes were rejoicing. They happy Keith Thurman lost. They rejoicing that Keith Thurman lost. Like Manny Pacquiao was gonna shoot the fade with Errol Spence. The dude, they laughing. Keith Thurman, Pacquiao named this dog Thurman. Just think about that for a minute. He called his dog Thurman. Now imagine if Manny Pacquiao beat motherfucking Earl and call his dog Earl. Name his dog Earl. You know how much angles they gonna play on the race? Oh, I told you Pacquiao was a racist. I told you Pacquiao was a racist. I told you he didn't like black people. All of a sudden, people accuse Pacquiao of being a racist, his fan base being a racist. They included him of being a cheat. They included him of cutting corners and putting rehydration clauses and catch weight and not beat people at their best. All of a sudden, for one fight, for a 6 or 8 week fight week, leading up to the fight, all that went out the window. They were so mad at Keith Thurman because he held up the division. They was mad at Keith Thurman because he held on the WBC belt. They was mad at Keith Thurman because he held on the WBA belt, right? And they turned on Keith Thurman like a wild animal. Keith Thurman, at the end of the day, I didn't never see them hate no white fighter, no Mexican fighter like they hate Bud and like they hated Keith Thurman that night. Never. Name me a time where they had so much malice. Even with Tyson Fury saying the N-word in the Juicy song. Name me a time that these brothers, and I'm not just talking about that letter crew. Name me a time where you see them brothers so irate like they are with Bud. Name me a time these brothers are so irate like they was with Keith Thurman. I think they have more anger towards Keith Thurman. Ronnie Boy Fresh Salute. I think they have more anger towards Keith Thurman than they had towards Bud. The hate they had for Keith Thurman when he was over in Nepal fighting in the streets and shit. I've never seen black people on YouTube or the internet hate no other fighter as much as that. Maybe you got to go back to Larry Holmes. But even with Deontay Wilder, that hate reached, laughable levels. And they celebrated when Keith Thurman won the belt, right? They celebrated. And then you got that dumb Negro, right? Yeah, man. I'm looking on YouTube, right? So I'm searching up some shit. His video comes up. Pacquiao dupes the back fight fan, man. I feel duped. I bet you, heavy hitter boxer salute. I bet you do feel duped, you stupid Negro. That's what happened when you don't know nothing about boxing. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know he's a stupid Negro. Matter of fact, stupid and Negroes, they go together. That's how you know he a Negro. Oh, man. I didn't watch the video. I can imagine. Oh, man. Pacquiao duped the black fight fan, man. He ain't one fight. He was an idiot. 1 + 1 = 2, nigga. Come on. 1 + 1 = 2. What you talking about? He duped you. Do you know your history? Pacquiao never fought Nate Campbell. He never wanted to fight Zaire. He didn't fight Oscar De La Hoya at 54. He didn't fight Margarito at 54. Come on. He drained Miguel Cotto even after Antonio Margarito did the damage. Allegedly, Joshua Clottey said they paid him not to throw punches. He drained Eric Morales in their rematch. So what are you talking about? He duped you. Anybody that know basic fucking boxing history of Pacquiao, they knew Pacquiao was not about to beat up on fucking Keith Thurman and fight Errol Spence after that fight, or no time soon until Errol Spence got into a car accident. So how did he dupe you? 704 Joe Salute. Tell me that. And I told them the titles was better left in Manny Pacquiao hands. I mean, in Keith Thurman's hands. Keith Thurman, it was more of a possibility of Keith Thurman fighting Errol Spence than it was Manny Pacquiao. 1,000% a possibility. Is that what's gonna happen? It was common sense. Keith Thurman don't want to move up. Like somebody mentioned yesterday, he talking about fighting Andrade and he wanted to get his get back at 54. Andrade long gone. Andrade on his way to be 168. That's a fact. So he wasn't moving up. Keith Thurman ain't trying to try Tony Harrison, Lubin, Castanos, Lara. No, he would have had to fight Errol Spence. That was going to happen. But now all of a sudden, now watch how the narrative changed. All of a sudden, they're going to jump. They're going to jump on fucking Keith Thurman nuts again. But where was his support for Keith Thurman when he was going against Pacquiao? No matter what Canelo do, his fans don't turn his back on him. He don't. Canelo go out there and smack 5 bitches in the face. Oh, Canelo didn't mean to do it. Canelo went out there and beat a flyweight up for fucking his girl. People forget that before the Austin Trout fight. He beat Austin Trout. The president threw that shit up under the rug. Canelo failed 2 drug tests. People act like it never happened. He had his whole boxing discovery of big fights is controversial. Catch weights, knocking out junior welterweights, beating old grandpa fighters. You know what I'm saying? Beating Ryan Rhodes and beating Matthew Hatton for his first title at a catchweight. They don't never turn on Canelo Alvarez. Never. But the anger they had for Keith Thurman, it was more anger than Tyson Fury with the glove. It was more anger than when Canelo failed the drug test. It was more anger than Tyson Fury saying the N-word. The only time they show anger or get that belligerent is Anthony Joshua, Keith Thurman, Terence Crawford, or defending Deontay Wilder. That's it. That's the only time them dudes show that type of anger. They don't get mad. They don't get angry at Canelo. They don't get angry at Bob. They don't get angry at Loma like that. Be honest, man. Do you trust any black man that call another white man white Jesus? Call a white man white Jesus? Do that sound like somebody you want to trust? That sound like the Terry Crew of boxing community to me. That sound like the Terry Crews. Is that who y'all want to follow? Old Negro fight fan? The Terry Crews of boxing community? Oh, I love me some white Jesus. 78. Yeah, man. His sweat probably tastes like lemonade, man. Ooh, man. I remember my granny, man. She told me that my great-great-grandmammy, she used to go get these lemons, man. And yeah, it's way before it was the Piggly Wiggly, man. She used to go get these lemons, man. And for Master Johnson, okay? And my great granny had the best damn motherfucking lemonade in the South, man. A motherfucking slave that just went to church on Sunday, used to pick that cotton, man, on Saturday through Monday, man. I mean, Monday through Saturday, man. And she made it into the damn penthouse, man, because of that lemonade, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, my great grandmammy had the best lemonade, man. Hell yeah, man. I think, man, Country Times took her shit too, man. They owe us some money. Hit the live button, man. Come on, man. Y'all listen to that knuckle dragger, man. Watch how all them niggas jump on Keith Thurman dick. Just watch. You gonna think they ain't never had a bad word to say about Keith Thurman. Here. I can hear Dumbo boy here. I can hear Dumbo ear right now. It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back with another one. Okay. Terence Crawford. He ducked Keith Thurman. Now Keith Thurman called out Terence Crawford, but Terence Crawford Bomac said I forgot what I was. Deontay Wilder, knocked out Luis Ortiz. I was talking about Keith and Terence. My bad. Come on, man. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here, man. Watch how I think I'll be loving Keith Thurman, man. Yeah, man. I was a huge Keith Thurman fan before he started pulling that shit, man. Watch how they try to change the narrative, bro. Watch how they start. Watch how remember on Step Brothers. I wish they do it too. When they took the shortcut and that kid made old boy made Brendan lick that dog shit. I lick Keith Thurman dog shit. He beat Terence Crawford, man. Come on, man. Watch how they just so fickle and they turn on motherfuckers like a pit bull, bro. This shit crazy, man. Keith Thurman called out Bud and then he said he got a fight date in December or January. But then Terence Crawford say he fight November 14th. So if you ain't coming back to December, January, plus you passed up Sean Porter, what kills me is this. Sean Porter didn't want to fight Josito Lopez, right? He fights Sebastian Formella. He said that Keith Thurman didn't want to fight him in a rematch, so he fights Sebastian Formella. Keith Thurman didn't want to fight Sean, and now he's fighting possibly Kell Brook in December or January. I mean, come on. That fight should have happened 4 or 5 years ago. When Kell Brook was about to fight Jesse Vargas, Al Heyman should have stepped in and made that fight. If it's true that Bud don't want to fight nobody, okay, cool. But we gonna ignore that Sean didn't want to fight Josito. He didn't want to fight Earl for years. When he won the IBF, he didn't want to fight Keith Thurman, right? We're gonna ignore Keith Thurman, got to win away for 18 months. Right? He ducked Errol Spence as soon as Errol Spence was a kid. He just ducked the Sean Porter rematch. Now, let's talk about this. Who was Terence Crawford ever ducked? Who was nigga said? Who said I sent Terence Crawford a contract and Crawford priced itself out? Who? Who's ever said, "Oh man, Crawford ducked me"? It hasn't happened. But I admit it looks bad with Bomac coming out here saying, "Oh no, we don't want to fight Keith Thurman." If he turn around and fight Manny Pacquiao, then we got a different story. But I just can't see that fight happening November 14th in no fucking bubble. If he come back out and fight Ray Robinson, then it look bad. I'm gonna criticize him. Because Kell Brook, they said this is before I even heard Keith Thurman supposed to fight Kell Brook. Last night they was told me that fight no longer on the table. Who did Bud duck? Tell me that. Because he sent Danny Garcia a contract. He didn't say nothing. He sent Sean Porter a contract. They said they was loyal to Al. Keith Thurman said he sent him a contract. He chose to take Manny Pacquiao. And we know Earl Spence and Witness Protection Agency. So who did he duck? He did not duck Porter or Spence. Porter received the contract. He didn't want to take the fight. Spence don't want that fight right now. You can ask whoever you want to ask. Spence don't want the fight. So once again, who did he duck? Somebody getting their ass beat on UFC. I don't even know who the fuck these niggas is. So who did he duck? You don't know nothing. So just shut the fuck up before you get blocked. So I know Sean and Earl had conversations. Sean said he going one way, Earl going, Terence going another way. Okay, it is what it is. That's just what it is. Like at the end of the day, motherfuckers just saying shit. It is what it is. What's protecting them, bro? How we protecting them? How we protecting them? Because last time I checked, Keith Thurman, Keith Thurman can't even get a fight with Earl Spence. They can't make that fight. Right? Keith Thurman on PBC, Earl Spence on PBC. Why they didn't force that fight? When Earl Spence won the IBF belt, why did Sean Porter not want the belt back? Why Sean Porter say, "Oh, I don't like the red belt"? Why Keith Thurman say, "I don't like the red belt"? Why didn't Garcia retire for a year? Ducking Earl and ducking Sean. I mean, come on, it's just common sense. PBC can't even put Gary Russell and Leo Santa Cruz in the ring together. And I'm gonna talk about Tank in a minute. I watched Tank spar on Fight Hype, and I got some words for it. But basically, if Keith fight Kell, I mean, let's talk about Keith and Kell Brook fighting. I'm gonna end it on that. If Keith fight Kell, that's some shit that should have happened. Like, when the fuck did Sean fight Keith Thurman? When did Sean fight Keith Thurman? I mean, when did Sean fight Kell Brook? What was that? 2000 what? 15? Ricky saluting PayPal. Appreciate the love and support. When did Keith Thurman? I mean, when did Sean fight Kell Brook? I better look at Kell Brook resume because he ain't fought too many times after that. And what's so bad about the shit that make Bud look bad is that Bomac just came out there running his mouth. Oh, we don't need to fight. And if you don't fight anybody I name, Pacquiao or Teixeira, it looked bad. So they fought in 2014. 6 years ago, bro. They should have fought 6 years ago. At least 5 years ago they should have fought. Let's be nice. So once again, PBC giving you a overcooked steak. Don't no real steak eater eat no well done steak. It's either medium well, medium rare for me. I ain't going like rare and fuck that. Anything past really medium, probably past rare, I ain't fucking with. But Bomac going out here running his mouth, making him look bad. Sometimes niggas just gotta shut the fuck up. And a lot of dudes do this shit too, man. A lot of these dudes do it. Then they be like, you know what, man? Send the contract. Oh, we just couldn't come to an agreement on numbers. The pandemic kind of fucked it up. We'll revisit it then, but it doesn't matter what he do. It doesn't matter what he do. Well, they talking to Pacquiao. I heard they offered Pacquiao a nice bag, but I just can't see that happening. But if he don't fight Teixeira next, and the problem with Teixeira is, can he simultaneously hold two belts? Floyd did it with the WBA. He was the Super WBA champion at 54 and 47, and he defended him on the same night versus Marcos Maidana. Was that the first or the second fight? I can't remember. Might have been both. But at this point, the only acceptable fights for him, unless Sean Porter is able to fight after Sebastian Formella, is really Teixeira and Pacquiao. That's it. Unless you're going to move up the middleweight and fight Golovkin or some shit like that. So it depends. But it's not my job to kind of, paint out or plan motherfucker's career. I just gonna call a spade a spade. He go in there and fight Ray Robinson or Josh Kelly or some shit like that. Even Virgil Ortiz, man. Keith Thurman just played the PR role so perfect. The first time he did it, he was on the who was the dude that do the interviews for PBC on Instagram? I forget that dude's name. You know what I'm saying? Chief Red Claw salute. I forget the guy's name. Ray, what the fuck is his name? But not Marcos, but the Ray guy. And he was like, yeah. I send to tell Crawford, send the contract. I just might sign it. So he like Keith Thurman. Yeah, Hispanic beats like Keith Thurman. So if Bud sends a contract, you gonna fight. Maybe I think about it. I pondered on it. Yeah, Ray Flores. I pondered it. And that nigga was just like, Ray Flores was like, man, get this nigga off my line. He probably went to superiors like, don't ever book me versus Keith Thurman again. He said, how about next? I think about it. Like, that nigga was like, man, like, even he was like, you know what? He was like, what? He was like, you know what, bro? You full of shit. So we know what Keith Thurman about, but in actuality, like somebody just said in the chat earlier, coming off a loss, you shouldn't be able to fight for a title. Unless it's a controversial loss and you rematch it. So if the loss is controversial, I don't have a problem with somebody rematching. But somebody like Luke Campbell coming off an ass whooping, and make sure hit the thumbs up button. Somebody like Luke Campbell coming off an ass whooping, he don't deserve to fight Ryan Garcia next or Devin Haney. But you know what? I take it. I'm not complaining. I seen way worse title eliminators in my career. Damn, he done split this nigga head open. This look on some homo shit right here. And I'm gonna say this. I ain't gonna say this, man. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the backup channel, Goodfellas Sports 2.0. I'm gonna start doing videos over there again. So, yeah, I can't wait till this pandemic get over with. But yeah, Keith and Brook. I mean, looking at that fight, I think Keith Thurman got too much movement. It's a good high profile tune up for Keith Thurman, and also it's good for Brook because they can make an agreement to fight at 150. Ray, salute, Ray Zone. That's a better fight for Kell Brook because Kell Brook can say, you know what, ain't no title on the line unless they sanction it for a fight. Now, what people don't know is Kell Brook turned down. He was granted a mandatory versus Jaime Munguia for the 54-pound WBO. He turned it down. You know what I'm saying? So if Kell Brook and Keith Thurman fight at 150, that's cool. You know, Kell Brook won't have to come all the way back down in one shot. In my opinion, that's a good fight. I still like Keith Thurman how I like Terence Crawford. Too much movement, too much speed, too much power. But it's like you got two broke down transformers in there. Terence Crawford seemed to be sturdy, strong, no real injuries, nothing. Kell Brook got Keith got an elbow injury, hand injury. He coming apart. Kell Brook, you know, his eye injuries and other little shit he dealing with. I like that fight how I like it for Terence Crawford. Too much movement, too much hand speed, too much foot speed, too much ring IQ. And I see Keith Thurman knocking him out just as fast as Terence Crawford would have. Him and Crawford got some of the same traits. Keith Thurman load up more. Unless Kell Brook throws his 1-2 really fast, Keith Thurman shouldn't have no problem. I like to see Keith Thurman he should win that fight. If he don't win it by stoppage, I think he should really consider retiring. He should stop Kell Brook. But they can do it at a catchweight. I like that fight at a catchweight. 150, 151. He just got too much. He always had too much movement for Kell Brook. Kell Brook foot movement ain't good enough. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, Sean Porter just didn't use enough angles on Kell Brook. I think he underestimated what Kell Brook brought to the table. Sean Porter should have been using more. He should have fought Kell Brook like he fought Danny Garcia. And how he kind of fought Ugas, lateral movement, in and out, head movement, feint. He walked right into Kell Brook, and, you know, Kell Brook tamed that ass. But let's kind of talk about, before we talk about Jermall Charlo, let's move on and talk about Tank Davis, right? I was watching Tank Davis spar some big motherfucker. He had to be out of Tank Davis weight class, right? So it's on Fight Hype right now. I got the ass. It's like a 13-minute long video. And I'm convinced, I know that's not entitled, but I'm convinced that Leo Santa Cruz got a chance. I'm convinced. I'm not saying it's a big chance. One thing I notice about Tank like to throw one or two big shots at a time. That's my problem with Tank. The whole sparring, Tank is pop shotting. You know what I'm saying? He walking this kid down, and the kid ain't going hard. You know what I'm saying? It's sparring, you know. Tank is taking it serious, trying to land these big shots, and you know, I don't know if Mayweather telling them this. I didn't hear Mayweather telling them this from the corner, but Tank is landing this one big straight left to the body. He landed one shot at a time. Tank can land one shot, admire his work, and then, you know, he might throw another shot, or he might get out the way, or they might clinch. Tank is throwing one or two big shots at a time, and he's not making any progression. He's not making any progression from when he fought Gamboa. And if Tank power ain't really that deal at 35, he gonna struggle with a lot of guys like Lopez and Devin Haney and guys of that nature because he throws one shot at a time. And he loads up on the one shot like it's one shot. Mayweather need to have him like that or ha. You know what I'm saying? He like this motherfucker just loading up. Leo got a chance. If Leo can take that punishment early on, it ain't like he coming out there like Chavez. You know, Chavez senior coming out there and he pressuring you. You know what I'm saying? He's showing a little head movement and he just systematically breaking you down. That's pressure fighting at its best. Him and Duran, they coming in behind the jab, they weaving, they faking, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. And then they might throw a pot shot in there, boom. But they not looking every time. They not looking for those one or two big shots. Chavez is how he broke down Mildred Taylor. You know, he got him comfortable and Mildred was landing some shots, but Chavez was rolling and picking the shots off. He touching them. Touching them anywhere. The elbows, the shoulders, the liver, the rib, he just touching them to the head a little, and before you know it, you know all those shots starting to add up, and now he can and then he start putting it on his ass, and he systematically broke down Mildred Taylor. That's how you approach that. Tank is throwing one or two big shots, and with him being kind of like a little bit out of shape right now, down the stretch, if he come in and throwing those one or two big shots and Leo can evade them, he can smother them, he can roll them and survive. After 5 or 6 rounds, Leo Santa Cruz might can make some shit shake. It ain't shit to avoid one or two big shots once you establish distance, the variations and the speed and the angles of the punches. After that, you know, Leo will be able to, you know, bring some shit to the table. You know what I'm saying? So I noticed that about him sparring, that he really believe in his power. And every fighter that believes in his power, eventually he finds out that it ain't all of that. George Foreman, Sonny Liston, Julian Jackson. It ain't nobody right now punching harder than Julian Jackson. Deontay Wilder. All these guys found out that you need something more than a bomb. And Tank throwing 1-2 shots at a time, he can't beat Teofimo Lopez like that. He can't beat Shakur Stevenson like that. He got to learn how to put his punches together better. You know what I'm saying? And they egging him on his sparring when he ran that one big shot. Oh my God, shit, good shot, Floyd. Like, yeah. One day he gonna run into somebody that's gonna go like, give me some more. You know what I'm saying? If he ran into a nigga like Rios, and I ain't seeing Rios the most skilled fighter in the world, but if he ran into a nigga like Rios, he'd be in some problems. He'd have some troubles at 35. He ran into Rios at 35, man, he'd have a lot of problems fucking with Rios. Rios either Tank gonna edge it out at the end, or Rios gonna come and stop Tank down Rios at his best at 35. He couldn't beat a dude like Rios at 35, clearly. Not how he fighting. They got to teach that Joker how to put his punches together. Even when he throw a jab, it's meant to be a power shot. You know what I'm saying? Even when he throw his jab, it ain't setting up nothing. It's meant to do damage. Every punch Tank throw is meant to do maximum damage. With his conditioning and him not being in shape, that's going to be a problem. You know, if he was in good condition, he can get away with it. When you move up in weight, you beat dudes with speed, intellect, and IQ. That's usually how you beat dudes. You know, he should be watching Mike Tyson, Duran, Chavez. He should be fighting all the great fighters. You know, at some point in time that I can remember, for the most part, they know down the weight class, they put punches together. You crazy as fuck. Rios been broke that boy down, dog. Down the stretch. Go watch Rios. Go watch Rios at 35. It's the reason why Gamboa didn't want none, big fella. You crazy. Go watch Rios at 35 before he drained when he fought Lamont Peterson, little brother. Rios gonna bust them fucking pipes. If Gamboa on one leg can go 11 rounds, 12 rounds, Rio's gonna be some problems down the stretch at 35. Rio's gonna not the one that fought the little UK dude. Rio's gonna be some problems down the stretch, cause he eating that shit. Rio's gonna bust pipes. Tank ain't fought nobody like Rios, my nigga. None. He ain't fought nobody like Rios, dog. At 35. None. We not, and it's hard to differentiate or separate what Rios became at 47 and what he was at 35. It's different. You looking at Rios as a punching bag. Like that punching bag. But that punching bag, he was eating that shit at 30. Same thing for Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner was able to absorb those punches at 35, and he had a bigger punch. Rios was a good puncher at 35. He'd have gave Tank some problems down the stretch. But Leo Santa Cruz got a chance. Not saying it's a big chance, and I'm not a Santa Cruz fan either. But until Tank is not going to be able to beat Devin, Shakur, Colbert, he's not going to be able to beat those guys punching 1 and 2, loading up at 1 and 2 shots at a time. So he said, I think Mike Alvarado would be the worst. Well, Mike Alvarado, I don't remember him fighting at 35. Mike Alvarado was a 140 pounder. That's why I'm trying to get y'all to differentiate between Alvarado, that Rios at 40 and 47, and the Rios at 35. I'm trying to get y'all to separate those guys. We talking about the dude that was crushing motherfuckers. You know, busting people, buzzing. It didn't matter if Rios was slow. Chavez wasn't the fastest joker out there. Tank is only throwing one shot at a time and loading up. Rios is going to pressure Tank down the stretch. He not going to be running around like Gamboa. Y'all got to understand where I'm coming from. Y'all looking at it as, oh, you know, he was not stopping Rios. Crazy. None of them dudes ever got hit by nobody like, well, who was Tank knocked out? He went 12 with Gamboa, 11 or 12 on one leg, bro. So who was he knocked out? Like, tell me. Oh, Nate Campbell would beat the shit out of Tank right now. Who was Tank knocked out? At 35, it seemed like the power not there. Because he don't know how to put his punches together. He said he wasn't that slow. Yeah, Chavez had a nice little flow, but he wasn't the fastest. Roger was faster than him. He still found the way to beat him. Tank ain't that fucking fast neither. He explosive with his punches. Look at that sparring, man. That motherfucker wilding around the ring. Come on. The KO, he still look out of shape, bro. Yeah, he still look out. That's how he look every fight. Shit. Get out of here, man. Y'all make so many excuses for Tank, bro. Like, this nigga didn't fought anybody. He fought Pedraza. He living off Pedraza. He living off the Pedraza fight. Like, damn, how long he gonna live off that one? It ain't like he beat Lomachenko. He can live off that forever. He living off that same Pedraza win. Who has he beat? 26 pounders, 22 pounders. 26 pounders coming off a loss like Jesus Cuellar. Y'all talking about his power? Where? Who has he stopped worth the damn, bro? You see it with Deontay. He stepped up. The power, the knockout stopped coming. Keith Thurman stepped up. The knockout stopped coming. Earl Spence stepped up. The knockout stopped coming. I believed in him, bro. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, you can't believe in somebody that don't believe in themselves and believe in dedication. Tank got a real short shelf life, bro. Real short. Unless he get it together. He don't. It don't seem like Floyd progressing him. He believes in his power too much. When he able to hit, when he hit somebody and they don't go nowhere and they hit him back, he gonna be in trouble. He gonna fold just like Mike Tyson did. He living that same lifestyle. Why should I tell you? When Tank fights somebody, he hit him, and they stand there and they eat that shit, and they hit his ass back, Tank gonna quit. It ain't gonna be Leo Santa Cruz, Terence Salute. It ain't gonna be Leo. Or when he go in there, somebody take his best shot and give it back to him. I'm telling you, he gonna quit. He gonna quit. We ain't saying he ain't got skills. Hard work beat talent when talent don't work hard, and he don't work hard in between fights. I see the writing on the wall with that kid. And if he don't lose in the ring, he gonna lose outside the ring and do some time. I say it again. If he don't lose inside the ring, he gonna lose outside the ring. Everybody see where this coming. Adrian Broner was just fortunate, bro. Adrian Broner just been on borrowed time his whole career. Y'all forget when they shot at him and ran him across the Kentucky state line, Ohio state line to Kentucky, and they shot his truck or his van up. Come on. Adrian Broner been fucking anointed for a long time. You know, you look at the Vlad interviews that Adrian Broner do. He said he was young. He was focused because he wanted that money. He just was facing 57 years in jail. He came out. He said, "I will fight. Next day, I'll be in the gym." But let's move on, man. Jermall Charlo, we know he got a fight with Sergey Devinchenko coming up in September 26th. I got a program that day because I'm going to buy that fight. You know, and he says on the WBC website, you can check the video out earlier, screenshot there. He said he on his way up there. So you have some people believe that Canelo is going to fight David Lemieux possibly. I heard that a couple times today. I didn't know David Lemieux was ranked number 3 in the WBC. I don't know how. And he can fight Canelo for the vacant WBC title. But Avni Yıldırım is the mandatory. Now, Avni Yıldırım did fail the drug test. For whatever reasons, they cleared him. So now, you know, a lot of people thinking that if Benavidez win tonight, they're going to reorder Benavidez and Yıldırım for a vacant title, which will make Benavidez a 3-time WBC champion. He got to be the youngest 3-time, at least super middleweight champion. First time he won it, it was vacant because Darrell pulled out and didn't want to fight Callum Smith and all that bullshit. He beat Gravell. He defended versus Gravell. Then he lost it again because he had an adverse test for cocaine. Now he lost the belt again versus Ramiro Angulo. That fight coming on that card at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Charlo, now what people don't know, I was arguing with Irv on Twitter. He was like, well, the Angulo fight was already signed. Well, they was trying to make him fight Jermall Charlo. Okay? Jermall Charlo, I was thinking that September 26th, they was trying to do Jermall Charlo and David Benavidez for the pay-per-view main event. But Benavidez wanted to go ahead and fight Angulo. But they want out the pandemic, they wanted to scrap the Angulo fight, I heard, or they was considering doing the Charlo and Benavidez fight. So remember, Charlo got on Instagram Live and talking greasy about Benavidez all of a sudden. And we was like, damn, where the fuck that come from? You know, I was thinking like, man, I didn't even know they had beef. But that's something that PBC want to do. So Jermall Charlo could be moving up. He said he's moving up to super middleweight real soon. He probably gonna get opportunity to challenge Avni Yıldırım for the vacant belt, or you know he could challenge the winner Avni Yıldırım and David Benavidez for the vacant belt. Me personally, Benavidez shouldn't get another shot at the belt. He should have to fight a title eliminator versus somebody else, maybe Benavidez and David Lemieux or something like that, and they can do Charlo and Avni Yıldırım. Charlo probably get some type of super WBC status and get to fight Yıldırım, moving up from middleweight to super middleweight. But you know what? I'm all for Charlo and Benavidez type of fight. You know, one thing we can't say about the Charlo twins, we talked about Tank Davis and Benavidez having horrible training habits and, you know, not having the discipline to stay in shape. Charlo's always in shape. You would never catch the Charlos out of shape. They stay working. They stay on point. They stay on code. And I think Charlo and Benavidez is a true 50-50 fight. You know, you got a guy like Charlo who I think is seamless. I think he will seamlessly make the transition to super middleweight and not lose nothing. I think he'll still have around the same power. The jab will come up. The speed will be good. He has several advantages over. Several advantages over Benavidez. Stamina. He got a better chin than Benavidez from what I've seen. He got a better jab, but Benavidez is a naturally bigger, stronger guy. That's a great fight. I wouldn't mind paying 65, $70 for that fight with the right card. So, his discipline, I think everybody turning sour on Benavidez, but once again, Benavidez and Tank are 23 and 24 years old. One thing Benavidez got going for him, he got an older brother who can kind of tell him to kind of stir straight. He moved to Phoenix. He moved his camp to Phoenix. From Phoenix to Seattle. He got his father there. You know what I'm saying? They real street motherfuckers, certified. So, and he real approachable. Everybody I talked to loved David Benavidez. White, black, brown, in between. He one of the coolest motherfuckers out there. So I pulled for him, but I gotta be constructive. I gotta keep it real. But that him and Charlo fight 50-50. But then again, we jumping the gun tonight. Benavidez is in a situation where he might be drained. He fighting a real puncher who only lost to Gilberto Ramirez. And then Charlo is fighting Sergey Derevchenko, which, that might not be an easy fight. So how about Charlo and Plant? Plant is waiting for the winner of Angulo and Caleb Truex, and then I think Plant is going to be fighting Danny Jacobs. That's just a hunch. That's a hunch. I think Danny Jacobs might come back to PBC. Got one more fight left with Matchroom. He might be coming back to PBC, and I think you're gonna see Danny Jacobs and Plant, and I think you're gonna see Charlo and Benavidez at some point in the next year or two. So, personally, if I had a personal preference, I like Jermall, I like Benavidez. I would just ask for both of them to come out to fight safe and still be able to have a great career after that. I don't have no disdain towards neither one of them. You know what I'm saying? So I would like to see the fight. If that's something that PBC did, down the line, I would definitely go to that fight. But I do think they was intending to try to do Charlo and Benavidez on pay-per-view at some point. So, and that both builds up the profile for Caleb Plant and Charlo. Danny Jacobs going to fight Rosado next. Plant going to fight the winner of Caleb Truex and Angulo as a mandatory. I think they're going to do Danny Jacobs and Plant. That's just a hunch. And then I think they're going to do, Charlo and Avni Yıldırım maybe. If Canelo and Dave Lemieux don't get in there. And then you can also see Callum Smith and David Benavidez. Callum Smith holds a WBC mandatory as well too. So, it should be interesting, man. I like all them fights. Charlo and Caleb Plant and Danny Jacobs, that's a good fight. But I like Caleb Plant, just too much style. But Danny Jacobs is a strong guy. He said David's structure and discipline is horrible, Ronnie Boy Fresh. Dollar S could never forget that shit crazy as hell. Gambling fights along. He said the Natty Kid, Chief Red Cloud, Dwayne Jefferson said, I'm telling Gary Russell will give Tank the blues. I heard that he beat up Shakir Stevenson when he was a kid. But he is a kid, so what you supposed to be? Gary Russell, a grown man. If it goes past the halfway point, might be interesting. He talking about Leo and Tank. Maul Charlo via stoppage, easy work for Maul. Talking about Derevchenko or Benavidez. Who is Canelo? Who Canelo fighting? I heard it's either between Callum Smith or Billy Joe Saunders. Late November. I said December the other day. It's late November. They supposed to be breaking the ground on the Zone UK. If you didn't know, Eddie Hearn is basically leaving Sky for the Zone UK. So yeah. Thurman is soft to the body as Amir Khan is to the chin. That's facts. First last. Ronnie said Charlo Benavidez fire yet. How do you think Charlo does versus Benavidez? They got a good chance. It's whoever go backwards. they gonna meet in the middle of the ring, and I think Charlo got nice speed. If Charlo get to going backwards, then I think Benavidez have an advantage. If Benavidez start going back, I think Charlo have an advantage. I don't think you can lose on that fight. But then again, we got to get past Ngalo, and then we got to get past Derevchenko September 26th. So, PBC been having some upsets lately. You ever see a top fighter continuously get hurt to the body like that? His face be showing it. I really can't think of so many fighters that just been like them 2 times, Collazo and Pacquiao. I'm pretty sure it's been a time where somebody been hurt to the body like that. But I can't remember. Like I was like, oh my ribs, throw them on the grill. Charlo will beat dude. That was a good fight. You never know. I always like Benavidez, but I was hyping Adamas as well, and that went left on me. And Bill used to say, I don't know what y'all see in Adamas. Told you, I don't know what y'all see in him, man. I don't know what the fuck y'all see in Adamas says. I know somebody that knew him and shit. He a big dude. Then Ronnie said David Benavidez is definitely a cool dude. Rapped to him multiple times, and you hate those type of dudes to lose. I felt for David when his bro lost, put his emotions on his sleeve, but he got some drawbacks already. Wasn't bro off that white too? I don't know, man. I guess that's what they party hard. They some street niggas for real, man. Street Mexicans. What station does PBC fights come on? Showtime. Let's not forget, CJ. This is another example of a marinating fights going wrong. Yeah, I mean, talking about Charlo and Plant and Benavidez. They wanted to make that fight this year. The pandemic kind of messed that up, and Benavidez want to wait till fans and the money right. So he 23 or 24. He got time. Plant be 27 this year, right? Dewan B. Salute. Dwayne B. Sorry. Bold salute. Who do you see becoming undisputed next? Lomachenko or Teofimo Lopez? Mr. Cruz. Yep. How do you think Plant versus Canelo fight will play out? Shit. I don't know. Probably be close. I think Plant needs some more seasoning. I probably favor Canelo, especially with the judges and shit. Benavidez flat-footed will come in and play in the fight of Charlo. Charlo ain't the balls in your feet fighter neither. But he got more better foot movement. Lion Killer salute. He got better foot movement than Benavidez. Benavidez might end up at 75 round robin match for the regular WBA title. He just probably make 68 still. Remember the layoff motherfucker, but he go to 75. Shit, you better stay away from him. You better stay away from my boy. Better BF. I like them both. But they saying that John Pascal is better BF mandatory now. So better BF fighting this month, right? Or is the next month versus that old boy, the Chinese dude. Somebody said Bud gonna fight a Taco Bell manager. So be it. Shit. Niggas that like that shit bother me. Shit. Danny Garcia damn near a Taco Bell manager. Shit. Danny Garcia then lost to every fucking welterweight. Niggas killed me like Danny Garcia is a good fighter at welterweight. He's a below average fighter. And if a below average fighter knock out Errol Spence, I ain't trying to hear shit. Andrade, I know Andrade they was talking about Willie Monroe. And then he was in consideration to fight Canelo, but the zone wouldn't approve him. So Crawford should fight Thurman. I agree. If ain't no Pacquiao, no Teixeira, yeah. He said I'm picking Cormier, Baracus, and Benavidez tonight. I'm pulling for Jessica McCaskill. Fuck Cecilia Baracus ducking ass. I'm tired of ducks. I'm pulling for McCaskills. Boy, they hooking on the UFC. Yeah, I'm watching that shit. Old boy got his shit split open. Then he split old boy shit open in the last fight. I got it on. Yeah, when Salute T.O. will be the next undisputed and new pound for pound king. But shit. You ain't lying. I'm right with you. Win in spectacular fashion. I'm giving it to him. Danny running Taco Bell. You ain't lying, bro. That nigga the assistant manager. He about to be district manager in a minute. The BBC Joker's not interested in better BF or Beeble. They are content with the regular. Man, ain't gonna send Badu Jack over there. Badu Jack over there fighting on Tyson and Roy Jones undercard. That nigga Badu Jack dropped the belt to avoid Beeble. He trying to fuck with them Euros. They say when Bud announced this next fight. Nope, I know it's November 14th. Supposed to be. I gotta start putting money into UFC. I'll be streaming, but UFC be delivering. You ain't lying. I'm gonna buy that Gatliff and Khabib fight. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I fuck with Khabib. I support Khabib because he got one more fight left. I think he gonna fight more than once though. He fight McGregor again. I pay for that shit twice. I'm only fighting to share next if you can get the winner of Charlo Rosario. I don't know. Why not? I mean, even without the winner, you win. You got 4 belts. You're a 4-weight division champion. Shit. Who else a 4 division champion that's active? Manny. Hold on. Mikey, because 26, 30, 35, 40. Shit. Loma win 3, 26, 30, 35. Nobody at welterweight is more than 2, and that's Danny. Canelo is 4, but really 3 to me because he ain't win no title for real at 68. So it ain't too many four divisions. Broner, yeah, Broner, gotta give Broner credit. Broner, I really don't consider Canelo a 4 division champion, but it's gonna happen eventually. He gonna get a real belt at 68. So that's tough to do. I mean, if you got an opportunity to make that shit jump, you should make it jump. Because it may not be an opponent willing to fight Crawford, for a belt. But if he do want to take on the winner, Charlo Rosario, that's a dangerous fight because Rosario a big motherfucker, bro. I agree, Derek Bailey. Maya says Demetrius wasted talent. Yup, politics. Andre Ward almost wasted his career signing back to Goosen. He did the same stupid ass shit. Fighting in Southern California when nobody was watching his fights. Remember, Andre Ward is the first nigga to fight on BET. Yeah, it's a Black History question. Who the first fighter to fight on BET? Andre Ward. He fought Paul Smith. Y'all forgot he fought on BET? But y'all got some questions. I'll take them because we approaching 8 o'clock. I want to get ready for the fight. Starting to cool down, so I'll take the dogs out for a run for a minute. You don't take them dogs out for a run, it's going to be a long night. Especially Chihuahua or Penetra. It's true, he made a bad decision. Fortunately for him and unfortunately for Goose and family, he passed away. He got out that contract. Andre Ward's biggest mistake was not fighting motherfucking Lucian Bute. I don't know why he didn't. And he be fucking with Fight Hype, right? But Fight Hype, I'm going to send this shit to him on Twitter, man. Fight Hype had this article saying that he was ducking Lucian Bute after the Super 6. Lucian Bute was supposed to be this killer. I remember Golovkin knocked him out in the amateurs. I don't know if Crawford got defense to beat the top dogs at 54. Shit, you don't know, man. It ain't just defense. Do he got enough skills? He can beat Teixeira. Lou DiBella is being phased out of boxing. He can always go back to HBO. Might be starting back up. He can go back and run HBO. Peter Nelson stepped down. He ran HBO for almost a decade, I believe. Ward fought on Title. He did. Damn, this nigga out here making history. Y'all go get Title, man. Title take care of the artists better. Fuck Spotify, Apple Music. Everybody should be getting Title. That's a black-owned business that pay their musicians more than anybody else. I mean, significantly more. Title pay their artists significantly more in royalties and shit. Better than YouTube, Apple Music, Amazon. So everybody should be getting Title, bro. It's a black-owned business that pay the artists, not only black artists, but white artists and everybody in between. They pay better, so we need to support Title. I got to do a video on that. I hope it's a share, bro, just because we know it's not packed. Otherwise, stay inactive, dog. And I'm only saying that because Bomac words, bro. Yeah, Bomac put his foot in his mouth. Bomac took the bait. I thought Ward said he was coming back. Hell no, Ward he ain't coming back. He good. How many pay-per-views does Crawford Thurman do? I ain't sure. Without a proper press conference, I don't know. You notice they ain't even doing posters for fights no more. I was going to bring that up. They ain't even doing posters for fights. Hey, I ain't seen a Tank poster. I ain't seen a Charlo poster. I ain't seen a Shakir poster. I ain't seen a new postal and Ramirez poster. These niggas ain't even doing posters no more. they ain't doing no posters no more, bro. They ain't not even doing posters no more. Hey, man, they so cheap they ain't even doing fight posters no more. That's crazy. They ain't even doing fight posters no more, though. These motherfuckers cheap. Bob Arum can't get his ass on the computer and put together a poster by himself. He better put Evan Corn ass to work. Hey, Loma and Tio ain't got no poster, dog. Man, I'm like, man, these niggas ain't even doing posters no more. I ain't even sure if UFC doing them no more, to be honest. I can't talk shit. Motherfucker, y'all see Mick Conlon fight earlier, talking about he want to fight Angelo Leo. He better stay away from Angelo. Man, Adam Booth talking about he ready for a title. I'm like, me and Adam Booth ain't watching the same fight, bro. Mick Conlon ass. I got Miocic. Cormier just landed a lucky shot the first time to me. Miocic beat his ass convincingly. He said Bob Arum too old to bend his fingers. Shit, he got enough money to make them hoes bend. Ward has a knee injury and supposed to be suing Lords in London for 6.3. So that is why he won't. Why he suing Lords in London? That's an interesting question. Why is Andre suing Lords in London? Fill me in on that one. He trying to get reparations? Do you think we'll see an undisputed champ? I don't think any of these. Yeah, Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko. Yeah, you'll see one unless it's a draw October 17th. So yeah, I mean, you will see an undisputed champ at 135 real soon. Damn, you don't like who like Mick Conlon? Hold on, stop the chat. Who? I don't got nothing against the guy. All right, man, I ain't got nothing against Mick Conlon. I got nothing against Irish people, bro, at all. But motherfucking garbage, dog. How the fuck did he get a gold medal, bro? That just let you know the amateurs is fucking it's corrupt, man. Him and Zeus Simmons, get out of here, man. I know some niggas in the hood around these sides can beat them in a boxing ring right now. If I seen Mick Conlon, bro, I think I could take him the way he fight, bro. He ain't no fighter I'm ducking no fade with. No offense to him. That motherfucker is garbage. He need to be trying to go for another gold medal. You think Mick Conlon good, man? He need to go get back with Manny Robis. He need to go find Floyd Mayweather Sr. Matter of fact, he need to go dig up Angelo Dundee or fucking Customato, bro. What I seen today, bro, like, man, I seen it on the Crawford, the Kowalski's coin machine card, man. I don't see no improvement, bro. Anytime a motherfucker keep moving down in weight, bro, y'all, he know he fool. Adam Booth talking about, yeah, he ready right now. What title holder he whooping on? What title holder he beating between 22 and 26? He ain't even beat no Ray Vargas, even though he championed in recess. Luis Neri and Aaron Amadella. And then he got to fight the winner of Danny Roman. And who the fuck Danny Roman fighting again? Because it ain't Emmanuel Rodriguez no more. Danny Roman, I'm going to tell you who he fight next on the Charlo undercard. Give me a minute. Give me a fucking minute. Give me a fucking minute. Give me a minute. Hold on. Oh, Payano. Carlos Payano. He fighting him. It's supposed to be a Rodriguez. He moved out. He pulled out again. Remember, he pulled out worse. Colin is protected to say the Hulu Theater. Same passions they top rank need to date. Man, he ain't beating no. He better stay away from Angelo Leo. Angelo Leo been delayed to smack up down on this Rudy Poo. If you smell what, man, shit, man, I put my life savings on Leo unless he took a dive. He moved down because he didn't want to fight Macadano. Hey, look here, man. Like I said, man, Jesse cool as hell, bro. And y'all know how I feel about Nervada. But if he should. If you ain't gonna be able to beat Jesse Macadone, man, I don't know what to say, bro. Macadone can fight though; he can crack, so I get that. You know what I'm saying? But he said I can't remember his undercard right on Bud card. Yeah, he fought. I can't remember who he fought. He fought that Russian dude that was like 3-0. He lost to he beat in the Olympics. And remember, that was the fight that his manager Igis Klimov said that they didn't want to fight Lopez in New York City at Madison Square Garden because he felt that the scorecards were too close with the Mick Conlon fight. He a Klimov fighter, but it was on the coin machine undercard. Coin machine, I love that nickname. Danny Roman's, yeah, Danny Roman was ducking no smoke. He should have dropped that belt and kept going, but he went out now, so he definitely can fight. And he getting beat by Angelo Leo or Steve Foreman at 22. So moving down didn't say at all. You know, Ray Vargas is champion of recess. Who else you got down there at 22 champion, bro? Because Ray Vargas is champion of recess right now. So, hold on. Let's pull up the ranking system. Celebrate good times. So you got Ray Vargas, the dude, Radana Umakadav. He the dude that beat Danny Roman. He the WBA. He the IBF. And you got, Bacon WBO. He ain't beat Neary. He ain't, man. I don't know. He might have to move down again. And he ain't beating the New York or Casimir or a Blolly. Like, I mean, it's bad for that dude out here, man. Damn, I should have went go back and watch that comment, man. He almost lost. He almost got disqualified for low blows. Toyona just got stopped. Damn. So really, it should be. It should be right. It should be Neary versus Roman, but they ain't want to go that way. But yeah, let me get out of here because I gotta take a piss. So I'll be out here. I'll be back after the fights, man. So, and then tomorrow I'll go live and I'll do a panel. So if you want to jump on, make sure you hit me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. All my links in the description. I'm gonna have a panel tomorrow. So if you want to join, we're gonna talk about the fights. I mean, UFC, boxing, and we're gonna talk about next weekend fights and make some picks. You got Dillian White taking on Povetkin next week. You got a nice little fight card next week, but I got to go to the bathroom. Appreciate the love, support. I'll be covering the fights tonight. Got one more NBA video left, and then that'll be it. We gone.